Today we're going to see how we can edit actual HTML in our Blogspot blog. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Blogger and open up my blog. You can see I'm already signed in here. And if I click on any one of my blogs, I can go ahead into my posts. You can click post on the left side, and I can go ahead and click new post. And you can see this is loading the interface. My first HTML based post is what I'm going to call this. And you can see here we've got a lot of options. We can change settings on the left, but if we right underneath our title, we can click this HTML button. And now that we have HTML, we can actually build an HTML file. So instead of just doing the basic things like entering text and changing the way it's laid out, we can actually manipulate this using HTML. So I can do things like I can say div ID my intro, and here I can say this is the introduction to my blog. It's going to be a great blog for demonstrating how to write HTML. And if I go ahead and preview this, it's going to go ahead and do some computation here, get ready to load up what we have, and here you can see this is the introduction to my blog. It's going to be a great blog for demonstrating how to write HTML. So you can do that very simple thing, but we can also do things like add in some styles. So if we want to add in a style here, we could say pound my intro, and this is going to allow us to do things like maybe we want bold font weight bold, just using standard CSS. If we now preview our blog, now you can see that my text is in bold, and I can add other text in here as well. Maybe we say div class equals text section. This is the next paragraph in my blog. This will probably be very interesting and show how we can use CSS classes in our blog. Now I'm going to go ahead into my style section, and I'm going to go ahead and create a CSS class called text section. Maybe we make this a different font altogether. Font family, maybe we try to use Open Sans, or if that's not available, Arial or some sans serif font. Now if we preview our file or our blog post, we can see the font family didn't take hold. That evidently doesn't provide us with the, actually that does look like Open Sans now that I say it, so that's probably pretty good. If we want to change that to something like Times or Times New Roman, see if that will actually give us those fonts. So yeah, there we go. We have Times. So that is taking hold. You can see different fonts available there. And we could do things like font style italic and see what that looks like. Go ahead and preview that, and you can see here now we have italics. Maybe we want to add some margin values here. Margin top. Maybe we want to have some lead here. So for each text section, maybe we want to do 12-point margin. Now we'll get a little separation in between our sections. Notice there's that nice little separation. So if we want to have another section here, div class text section, this is the next paragraph. It's going to show how we can reuse these CSS classes to continue to add content. And if we preview this, we should see that next section show up as well. So now we have similar layout, similar font. Everything looks very, very tidy there. So we can do all sorts of things within this. We can do things like block quotes. We can use lots of our favorite tags like you or strong. And if we preview, we should see all of those load up as well. So this is a block quote. Notice it's bolded and it's underlined. So we can add in lots of HTML here when we're, and we could actually throw in some links here, div class text section. This link will take you to the main page of this blog, and we'll go ahead and fill in what this link is going to be. We'll use the anchor ahref http show coding for us.blogspot.com. There we go. So now we have linked in the URL. So you can see ahref equals http show coding for us.blogspot.com, this link. So when we preview that, we should see this link as a link. There you go. And that will take us right out to where we need to go. Now, when we're all done and we're ready to publish this, we just hit publish. And now if we view that, we should see the final post right out here. You can see my link is there. That'll take me back to the main page, but my main page includes this blog, so it doesn't seem like it changes much there, even though you will see that the URL changes. If I click that, it's taking me right back to my main page. And this is taking me to my specific blog post. Now, one of the things that you can do once you've actually posted HTML content, when I come in to edit this, it's actually going to allow me to, sorry, wrong one here. Let's go back. We'll go ahead and close this. If I go in to edit my first HTML-based post, I can edit in HTML, and it's also going to let me to go back and compose this. So, I can actually modify, but usually it's a better idea to try to work directly in HTML or work directly within the composer here. Just because, as you add things like styles and as you add different values into your classes or values for your classes or your IDs, you don't want those to be overwritten. You don't want to have to guess what the composer is going to do. So you can go back and forth, but I'd recommend staying with the HTML version. But once you have it out there, you should have a lot of control over the way this is displayed.